本日はようこそお越しいただきました。私は道場の代表の倉本と申します。この道場は伊藤一刀斎を始祖とする一刀流の精神と実技の普及を目的に運営しております。皆様には古武道にご興味をお持ちいただきまして、深く感謝の意を表するとともに心より歓迎させていただきます。一刀流の極意は切り落としという技にあります。切り落としとは相手が切り込んでくる刀を避けずに、こちらも同じ軌道で相手の刃の内側に切り込み、刃を脇に飛ばす。さらに切っ先を相手の喉元につけて終了となる一連の動作のことです。これは敵にとどめを刺さないことであり、人を生かすという精神的な意味を持っています。この技の実現のために我々は日頃稽古を積んでおり、皆様にもその一端を体験いただければ幸いと存じます。
The proper way to wear a dogi. A dogi is a special uniform worn in the dojo. Please choose the appropriate size. Please go barefoot. Please wear underwear. Put on the jacket with the left side over the right. Put on the hakama and adjust it with the waist tie. Tuck the hem of the jacket into the hakama. I will explain the outline of today's Bushido Experience session. Once you have finished checking this explanation, we will move to the dojo. In the dojo, we begin and end with a bow. I will explain how to bow later. Practice in the dojo will start at 10:30 and finish around 12 o'clock. After that, please change your clothes. At 12:30, please enjoy a Japanese-style lunch at this location. At 13:30, we will leave the clubhouse and depart for the Zen experience. We will guide you to a Zen temple, which is a 5-minute walk from here. At the temple, please experience Zen meditation for about 30 minutes, or as long as your legs can endure comfortably. Please return to the clubhouse by 14:30. At the clubhouse, we will present you with a certificate of completion, marking the end of the experience session. After the session ends, we will arrange a taxi to Hanatsugi Station. The ride will take approximately 30 minutes. This is Bushido training, every day, every time, the spiritual pillars of the Japanese people. Japanese-style lunchbox Shikado Bento. Zen Experience near Temple Togan Inn. The rituals of respect in Bushido. The actual practice experience. The following is the actual practice with a wooden sword. There will be a photo session in between. 1. Enter the dojo and sit in seiza at the back. 2. Recite the dojo-kun, training hall rules while still sitting in seiza. 3. Watch the instructor's performance 20 minutes. 4. Practice swings 10 minutes. 5. Kamai, stance, and swings practice 20 minutes. Men face shot practice swings. Onikote uchi gauntlet shot practice swings. 6. Practice of Ito-Ru, secret techniques Kiryatoshi and Onigote Uchi 20 minutes. 7. Ending bow, point 8, end of practice greeting from the instructor. 9. Bow to the dojo and move from the dojo to the clubhouse. The practice in the dojo ends here, about 60 to 80 minutes. Please observe the demonstration by the master. This is the true skill of a samurai. From this point, all guests will have the chance to hold a wooden sword, get familiar with handling it. Grip the wooden sword so that the end of the handle grip partially rests on the pinky finger of your left hand. Lightly grip the wooden sword near the guard. With your right hand, the left hand is primarily responsible for supporting the sword, while the right hand is used for directional control. Next, learn the form of kamai, stance. The representative stances of Ito-Ru include the following 7 forms: left Gyodin, right Gyodin, Seigan, Chudan, Gadan, Wakigame, In, and Yo. Suburi is like shadowboxing, where you imagine an opponent as if they are actually present, and then strike downward with the wooden sword from above. Man-uchi subari is the motion of bringing the wooden sword down from overhead, imagining an opponent in front of you, and stopping the strike at the opponent's head. Kote uchi subari is the motion of bringing the wooden sword down from overhead, imagining an opponent in front of you, and stopping the strike at the opponent's kote forearm. These are the fundamental basics of kendo. The technique of Kiri-otoshi is the essence of Ito-Ru. Mastering this technique in its true sense is considered the completion of one's training as martial artists. We strive day and night to learn this technique, but it is so difficult that it could be said to be nearly impossible to reach this high level. Specifically, the Uchidachi instructor swings the wooden sword down, aiming for the head of the Shidachi guest. The Shidachi guest intercepts the sword with the tip of their own wooden sword, about 10 centimeters from the tip. The Shidachi guest then strikes downward, deflecting the Uchidachi instructor's sword sideways. When the Uchidachi instructor's sword falls downward, the Shidachi guest strikes the opponent's throat, thus winning the match. This technique, in which you evade an attack aimed at your head and win, is called Kiri-otoshi. The technique from Kiri-otoshi to Onikote uchi after the match is decided with Kiri-otoshi. The Shidachi guest strikes the Uchidachi instructor's Onikote. In practice, this strike is intended for the head, but since there is no armor there, the strike is instead delivered to the Onikote forearm. By practicing this strike to the Onikote, the Shidachi guest strengthens their Teino Uchi, the snap of the wrist, and the power added to the impact of the strike. When striking the Onikote, the Shidachi guest must be careful not to let the wooden sword bounce upward. Please remind the actual practice experience. Prohibited actions and points to keep in mind during practice. Warning: 1. Do not pass behind a person swinging a wooden sword. 2. During the explanation, guests are not allowed to play with wooden swords. 3. Stand with a wide space between each other. 4. When the instructor says, "Yame," immediately stop your movements. 5. A wooden sword can be a dangerous weapon, so handle it carefully and never use it as a toy. What is the origin of this dojo? Ito-Ru is one of Japan's leading sword fighting schools with a history spanning over 400 years. The teachings of the Ito-Ru not only provide physical techniques for protecting oneself and defeating an opponent through repeated practice of structured forms, but also enable the mastery of the principles of heaven and earth as a mental discipline. The distinctive feature of Ito-Ru swordsmanship is that it simultaneously attacks and defends with just one sword technique. Ito-Ru, and the ultimate technique is Kiri-otoshi. In form, this technique is a mutual strike, but the opponent's sword is deflected to the side, and only your sword is slashed down in front of the opponent, defeating the enemy. This is also a spiritual technique that shows how to get to live in death by mustering your courage and taking a step forward, without fear of the enemy's sword cutting down. On the other hand, the result of the training to defeat your opponents, when pursued to its conclusion, leads to the path of non-killing, which is to coexist with the enemy, that is, a sword that brings life to people. The state of mastery in the one-sword style becomes one where both parties facing each other can resolve matters amicably without drawing their swords. This is a state of non-discrimination where the mutual striking down, as stated by the Buddhist philosopher Daisetsu Suzuki, who was an advisor to our dojo, directly becomes mutual escape. In other words, it is a state where self and others become one. Thus, the ultimate goal is to reach a state of coexistence and peace through the training of the principles of heaven and earth, and the contemporary significance of kendo exists here.
稽古の内容や注意点はご理解いただけましたでしょうか。稽古は終わりのないものです。私自身も生涯をかけて一刀流を追求していく所存であります。また皆様のような同志が増えていくことも期待しているところです。それでは稽古を始めましょう。道場でお待ちしております。